Welcome to BanrAds. In this tutorial we will go through all the features that you can find in BanrAds. So you'll find the menu options on the left, and depending on which upgrades you have menu options that are hidden or not. This is the full application. On the right you will see your profile pic and you'll see a bell. On the profile pic, by the time that this goes live, you will find the knowledge center here and the support contact here. So let's go through all the different functions that you can find. And the first thing that we will do is we'll go into the editor. So we will create a new project and it will load the selection window that you can find all the templates that you want to use. Now, if you don't want to use a template, you can just do a custom graphic and you can choose the width or height. We've set some preset sizes already here for Facebook and for LinkedIn, Tumblr and Instagram, so you can pick those sizes if you want. If you want to just have a custom size, then you can just put it here. Now, the bigger the size, the better the quality of the image, but that all depends on what your use is, right? So I will not choose a template for now. I will just do something from scratch because that will show you every feature that the editor has. So let me just go in here and I'll just use a Facebook share image. So I'll start up the app and you will see in the editor a blank screen, which is exactly at the size that you've chosen. Now, if you want to change those sizes, you can do that. Let's say I want to have this as 500, then I just apply. You can see that that changes here. If I want to have it 750, apply, it gets bigger, right? So let me explain you what you see here in the editor first. So on the left side, you have various menu options. Okay, so the first menu option that you probably want to check out is how to import graphics. Okay, you can import graphics into the editor, so that you can find here. You can go back to choose a new project. You can go browse projects for projects that you've already created. You can save them, save new. You can export them in various formats. You can collaborate. You can get a public link. You can use the download manager. You get several extensions and so on and so on. Next menu option is effects. These are the effects that you can apply to, for example, shapes. It's a bevel effect or a blur effect. You can just play with these effects as you go. A very important menu option here is the layers, because once you import, and we will see that later, if you import a couple of images, then you have to select those images, and sometimes you can't select them. You'll have to go into the layers to really select that image. You can use emojis, they're both static as animated. You can simply put a background in there. You can put solids in, gradient, and a pattern. You can even randomize the pattern. So if you don't like the pattern that you see, you can just click randomize. If you don't like the colors that are applied, you can just customize them. So you can use those custom colors in order to create a pattern. Then obviously you can include a text. You can include buttons. You can include images that you can search for, right? So if you want to go and look for homes, if you're in the real estate, for example, then you can see this, and you can just put any keyword in here that you want. If you want to use any shapes for your designs, you can do that here. You can have some free draw shapes here. That you can create your shapes yourself, and you got different folders that you can select. Now, let's quickly put a image together, and basically the basic functions is, you add a background, you add some graphics, and you add text, right? So the most of images have those elements in them. So let's do that here. We can choose a background. We can do the pattern one. We can do a gradient one. So this is kind of a more softer on the eyes background. So let me choose this one. The other thing you can do is, if you can't find really the background that you want, is to import a graphic, right? So if I import a graphic, and these are already imported, if you want to upload it from your PC, then just click upload and find the file that you want to use. I can also use this background. So it's just an image as a background. Now in this case, I just drag it all over the editor, and so this is now the background that I've chosen, right? So you can use an image as a background as well, or you can choose the backgrounds that are already the options here in the editor. Next thing is you want to import another graphic because you want to showcase something, maybe a product. In this case, I'll just use the product box for BanrAds. It'll load. You see that if I wanted to select, it grabs the background image. That's not what I want, and that's what I told you. You know, you gotta go back to your layers and see which image did I actually select. So if you go here, it imported 2 of these, so I just need 1. So let me just take this one out. Just click delete. And it's gone, and so this is the product box that I want to use. If I want to resize it, now I can resize it the way I want, but if you click on the shift key, it resizes and keeps the proportions similar, okay? So it doesn't distort the image that much. Okay, let me just keep it there. And I want to import another image, so I'll go here, back here, import graphic. And I want to use a computer screen. There we go. I can see that's highlighted, so I can select it more easily. Just keep the shift there. Okay, so you can see that the screen is over the product box, and I want it behind it. So if I right click with my mouse, I have these options. I can copy the image. I can trim it, I can copy formats, I can clone. You've got all these options, but besides that, I've got a range, right? You can use all of these, but that's basically the basic feature. So we want to send it to backwards. That's not enough. Let's do it, send backwards again, and now it's behind the product box, right? So you can see it here. If I want to choose the product box there, now let me take this one away. I just put it in front of the screen, right? So this looks good. So the next thing you want to do is add text. So you've got the text option on the left. If you click the text option, then you just click one of these and you can see that a text option appears. Now let me just move it to the right. It's a bit dark. Now on the right side of your editor, you see a couple of properties and appearances. So properties are the properties of the box that you've selected, the item that you've selected. And if I click here, appearance is, you know, I want to change the color of the text. So if I click that here, then I can make it white. So this is a lot better to view. If I want to edit the text, I double click on the text and then it opens up this editor box. And here is where I can get, say, you know, get banner ads today. And I can just apply it. And then if I want to, you know, get a word underneath, just enter it. And here's where you can see, you know, you can align it left, right, and center, right? So if you do that and apply it, it shows. So if I want to change this text, now I can go to properties and change the dimensions, but I can obviously also take this and then again with the shift button, you can keep the dimensions straight, and there is where you increase the font. Now if you want to change the font, I mean, you can rotate it, you can flip it, you can make it, you know, transparent. And then the arrange button is basically the same as what you do here under your range settings. And then here is where you can select the font. You can find fonts here. So let me just choose the BanrAds font, and then you have here various options or various variations of those of that same font. In this case, I'll just use the bold, and there we go, right? So those are basic functions that you want to use here in the editor, and then you can add items like, for example, an animated emoji. You can see it coming up here, and again, use the layer section in order to select the right items. You can obviously increase that. Background I've shown you, text I've shown you, so you can also select the pre-done buttons for you. You can add an image, you can add a shape. In this case, I can add this kind of shape. Just drag and drop it. You can see the shape is black. Again, if I want to change the color in, let's say, a bluish, light blue one, I can do that here. And then when I change size, I can do it here. And again, you can see it's now in front of the text. I don't want that, so I want to arrange it to go and bring it backwards. That's one step. Bring it backwards 2, bring it backwards 3, and then it comes up, right? So, and then I can just move it a little bit to the left. In this case, you know, if you do the text then white on a little bit more clearer or lighter background, you basically want to have this darker. So I select the text here, change the appearance here again, and then I want to have it, let's say, darker blue, right? This looks a lot better. And you can put your discount here or whatever. Then we come to the animation. Now this element is already animated, so we know that's going to animate, but we want to animate some of these elements here, right? So let's say I want to animate the product box. Then we go to the section down here. So the section down here is really the animation that you do. Let me just take the map far away. Just take this down. So we've got all the animation, and we've got here the element that we've selected. This element we can animate, and you can see here the red arrow that selects this image, and you can click the plus button in order to animate that. So these are all the animations that we've got in here. You can just play around with it, but in this case I want to have this come in from the bottom. So slide in from bottom, and I want to have it start fully clear and then come in gradually. So I select this, use opacity, and there we go. It'll put it down here, and in the yellow bar that you can see here, you can see how it animates in, right? So in like 3 seconds, I get that in here. So let me start that from, and then I want to animate this in and slide it from the left side. Also use some opacity, and that's there. Let me take this away because I don't want that. And then I can see how it slides in, right? So these two slide in from the bottom and from the left. Now what I want after this period, I want to have the text flashing. So I select the text, and then I start animating it again, and I select the animation flashing, right? So then it'll be flashing. Now if I want to have it flashing more often, then I just add another animation behind that, and I'll add animation behind it, so it'll flashing more often. There we go. And then when we've got that and we're done with our image, we have to save it, and then we can export it in these various categories, right? So you can save it as an image, which will be a still image. You can save it as a video, then it's animated. GIF animation, obviously that's animated. Frames, PDF is a still document, and then HTML code. HTML5 code is a code that you could use on your website. And in this case, let me just do a video, and then it processes it as it says here. So we're done here in the editor, so let's go back to the main screen. So we've done a new project, and then when we want to see that project, we can go to saved projects. So the saved project is here. So these are the projects that we've created, and this saved project we can just view. And there we go. So you can see how it animates. It comes in. You got this star blinking. You had this flashing. So and also here you can download it as an image, a PNG, as you can see here. If you want to edit it, you can do it right here, and then you can cancel it out here. The other options that you have is if you press the I button for information, is how many times it's been viewed, clicked, and what the click-through rate is, and what the various traffic sources are. Now that's dependent on what your level of upgrades is, and here you can also add a link and add a pixel code. Now the pixel code you will need to enter here in the pixel menu. Okay, so that's what you can do on this menu option. Let me just go back, cancel out here, and then the next option here is the embed code. This is the embed code that you can use to use these type of images, including the link that's embedded, and then just click the embed code, put it on your website, and you're ready to go. And you can have visitors click those banners or images, whatever you are using it for. Also here you can share it on Facebook. Just go share. It'll pop out a window, and in the window it will let you choose whether you want to do it on your news feed, a timeline, a group, an event, or a page. These are groups you manage or a page you manage. Okay, that's what you can do here. So you can share that. It'll share an image because Facebook does not allow us to push a video or a GIF. If you want to do that, just download the video or the GIF and then upload it to Facebook. Okay, so I'm gonna leave that, yes. The same you can do on Twitter, just share on Twitter, right? So cancel that out here. Then here you can see the download options. Again, the same options as you could see in the editor. Let's say I want to have it in a GIF, and then you can see it's being requested, and then you can download it. I'll show you where you can find those. Once they are downloaded and processed, you can see here this bell. You can see how far the processing is going. So once this is completed, you'll see a red button here, and you can basically download your project from here. Okay, so let me go back to the main menu, and the other options that you have is you can do a split test. You can have two different images. You can say, okay, I want to split test how many times they are clicked and viewed and what the click rate of it is. You just select one image in one option, the other image in the other option, and then you save, right? Yep. You need to have a BanrAds title, and then you save. Okay, so it will now test how many times image A and image B is getting views and clicks. So you can actually see which is performing better than the other, right? So that's what you can do here. You can add your pixel codes. So for example, your Facebook pixel or your Google pixel, put your pixel IDs in there, and you can add new ones here. Now the background remover is a very unique option, what I've used as well. So if you upload an image in the background remover, it basically it removes the background, an apparent background in an image. So for example, let me upload an image. So for example, the dentist image, right, that I used on the website. is being uploaded, it's being processed, and it shows the apparent image that is in the forefront. Why is this important? Well, if you download that image, and I'll show you in a project that I've created. If you go back to my saved projects, then this is the project I created with using that background remover. This is, by the way, an upgraded feature for BanrAds Ultimate. Then you can see that in the animation there are basically two images, right? The original image and the image on top. So you've got two images, and you can see that if you animate the image on top, it really looks very cool. So you can basically go to any other web page, just, you know, snip any image from that web page and animate it. That's basically what you can do. It's pretty simple in that way. So the background remover is a really unique function in this application. Okay, so what else do we have? We have create an ad. If you're done with your image and you want to put an ad out on Facebook or Google, you can do that within the app. So you select whether you want to advertise on Google or Facebook. So let me just use Facebook. You gotta connect a Facebook account. In this case, I connect my own account. You have to select this Facebook page. So in this case, I can do, for example, Flicksters. I can put a ad account in here. Now I've got two. Make sure that you have a credit card uploaded, because whenever you run a campaign and you don't have payment options included in your account, then it obviously doesn't run. Select a campaign. In this case, I'll select Flickster streaming video and then an ad group. If you don't have a campaign or an ad group set, you can set them down here. So once you're done there, you go next, and here's where you can select your banner that you've got created. Now on Facebook, we need a squared image in order to do it on the post. So make sure you select a square image, and you take that into account whenever you create an image, right, for Facebook ads. So let me see where my squared image is. I think this is pretty squared. Select. So there it goes. You can see the preview here. You can add your headlines and primary text there. The button that shows up here, you got various options. Download, you know, whatever option you choose there. Then the display caption is basically the caption that the ad shows here. In this case, I would do flicksters.com. And you can see it'll show here in the ad, and then you need a URL where it's going to be clicked, you know, whenever they click the ad, where people are moved to. This can be your website, this can be a channel, this can be your web shop, whatever you want to have people go to when they click the ad. Managed ads. Whenever you got a ad created, you can manage it from this option. And then workspaces. Workspace is a very unique feature that enables you to collaborate with other people. So for example, I want my affiliates for BanrAds, I want them to use the BanrAds that I've created. So I've set up a workspace and I've created an account for them in this case. So BanrAds clients, with an email, and I've given them the email and access for that so that they can go into that. Now, obviously this is the part that I'm doing as an owner. Now let me pull in another window. So this is the window that people on this project will see, and they can see on my saved projects, or their saved projects, they can see all the images that they can use in order to promote my product, right? Isn't that unique? So I actually give them access and say, you know, if you want to use the embed code, use the embed code. If you want to use a download of the image, use the download. So that's how I can use that in my business. I can also use it in a way that if I am engaged with a client, I can have a client selected. So let me just move this here. I can give them a client account. If I add members to the team, I can put in their email, obviously the workspace that they are going to be accessing, and whether it's a client or designer. Now this is obviously access to the editor. Client is basically access to the images that you've created, right? So you can just select the client, and the client can look at the designs that I've already made. If I don't want to do my designs myself, then that's fine as well. I just include a designer and, you know, let them work it out. So that's a unique feature in BanrAds here. So those are the main elements that you can use in BanrAds, and I hope you're going to have a lot of fun with this.